Hello, good day everyone, and I am Nico Gabriel Mendoza, and I am the reporter for this afternoon. Okay, so my report is about teachers' rights and privilege. Okay, so teachers' employment contracts. The teacher agrees to serve the school for the number of days in the official school calendar and to perform other duties assigned by the administrator and to work cooperatively with the staff, faculty, and administration of the school. So the teacher shall devote a reasonable amount of out of class time to curriculum development, to sponsoring student activities, and to other duties as assigned by the administrator. Okay, so it is further mutually agreed that the school shall offer the teacher a new contract employment for the ensuing year on the before April 1, 2020, unless the school gives the teacher written notice of its intention not to re-employ the teacher on or before March 15, 2020. The teacher may be suspended or discharged for a good cause as a shall be determined in the exclusive discretion of the Board of Trustees. So talking about tenure or dismissal and due process. No? So uh, tenure for teachers. Tenure for public school teachers is defined as gaining permanent employment after successful completing a probationary period and cannot be dismissed or disciplined without just cause and due process. So today, every state has a tenure law. This law may be classified under fair dismissal procedures, continuing contracts or service, permanent status, career status, and post probationary status. The tenure contract is designed primarily to provide a measure of security for teachers and to ensure that they are protected from arbitrary and capricious treatment by school authorities. So I think this one of examples is, for example, no if uh, in today's generation, teacher do nagbaliskad na, no, ang teacher na subong ang ginaakigan sang parents to compare sang una, no, nga ang teacher pa ang nagadisiplina sa mga bata, no. So since that there are cases na nga nagareklamo ang mga parents sa teachers, so I think that also this tenure can help to protect teachers from these issues, no. So hindi madali-dali pahalin ang teacher nga regular, not unless nga may investigation tanan bag-o siya mapahalin sa work, no. So another example of it is kung natatandaan natin, may mga issues nga ginbalita anay sa TV Patrol nga tong teacher nga nagtampa ba ito siya sa students or hinampak niya or I mean nga ginadisiplina niya lang. So the parents nagkadto kay Tulfo, no, para ireklamo. And then this TV station, no, excuse me for the name drop, this TV station said that the teacher must revoke its license, no, even without investigation first, no. So I think that tenure is one of the makabulig man, no, diri sa mga maprotektahan ang aton nga mga teachers. So any teacher who earns tenure or continuing service status also requires a property right or a legitimate to claim the teaching position. Once a property right is acquired, the teacher may only be dismissed for cause. Full due process provisions must be applied. Next is the acquisition of tenure. In a number of states, tenure may only be attained after the teacher has successfully completed 3 successive years during the probationary period and receives an offer for reemployment for succeeding time. No? So the word probationary, no? So one of the examples is like if mag-apply ikaw sa work, so not immediately you will be assigned as regular, no? So somehow the company will observe you for the a few months or a few weeks before you will be promoted to regular, no? So next is the probationary period is one in which non-tenured teaching is seeking tenure. During the probationary period, a teacher may be non-renewed at the end of the contract year without cause or dismissed during the year with cause. In case of the letter, the teacher must be afforded full due process rights. In some non-tenured status involve no expectation for employment beyond the contract year, no right to provided reason for non-renewal, no right to due process, and no hearing. I think this is one of our contacts also as a emergency teacher in Capiz State University. So we don't have an expectation for employment beyond the contracted year. So it depends on the school if ever the school will renew our contract or not. So we don't have the expectation for the next contract, no? So muna gani nga kinanglan kumbaga sipagan, no? Para at the same time the next renewal the school will renew your contract. Dismissal of cause. Tenure laws include grounds for dismissal in virtually all states. While there are variation among states, these grounds normally include incompetency, insubordination, immorality, neglect of duty, justifiable decrease in the number of teaching positions or financial exigency, and statement indicating other good and just cause. Okay, next is incompetency. One of the more frequently used grounds for dismissal involves charges of incompetency. Next is most commonly incompetency refers to inefficiency, a lack of skill, inadequate knowledge of subject matter, inability or unwillingness to teach the curricula, failure to work effectively with the colleges and parent, failure to maintain discipline, mismanagement of the classroom, and attitudinal deficiencies. No? So examples of the incompetency. Like for example, a teacher don't attend meetings. So ang reason niya, for example, yung reason niya kay natamaran siya, kay hindi siya gusto, no? So it refers to incompetency, no? Kay matamad siya kaya muna. So next example is for the lack of skills, no? So I think somehow kung ibutang naton ang teacher nga wala gid siya nag-practice sang iya nga profession, no? So or sa iya man nga subject matter. So I think sala niya na, no? Nagiging incompetent siya is because of kung wala niya gin practice ang iya mismo nga profession. So kumbaga naging stagnant lang siya kung dira lang siya hasta, no? So next is the inability or unwillingness to teach the curricula, no? So they are not following the curriculums, no? So like our syllabus, no? So they are using their own kumbaga it's their own way, no? Kumbaga wala nila yung ginasunod. So it's also incompetent. Failure to maintain and discipline, no? So like for example, kadto ka sa school, isa ka teacher nagakadto sa school tapos wala siya naga-wear sang iya uniform. So ang gusto niya iya lang man, or let's say makadto lang siya sa school if may time lang siya, kung gusto niya lang, pero may pa siya late, wala pa siya naga-attendance, no? So kumbaga I think that incompetent is not worth it nga maging teachers, because kumbaga wala niya gina-take ang iya nga profession as wala niya gina-priority, no? So I don't think if may ara sila nga mga teachers, so, siguro may ara man, no, in other schools nga, or may natabo na sila sa mga schools nga amo na, no? I don't think, no, I think siguro wala sila nagdugay sa pagiging teacher nila if amo na, no? So kumbaga amo na ganing ginahambal naton nga when nga kung maging teacher ka, so dapat gampanan mo ang tanan, maging nanay ka, maging tatay ka, or nga dapat maging flexible ikaw sa tanan nga butang, no? So kumbaga maging transparent ikaw para maging maayo ikaw nga role model sang mga students. And lastly is the mismanagement of the classroom, no? So like for example, wala ikaw ya himos, or wala mo ya gina segregate ang imo nga classroom, no? So example, advisor ikaw, so magsulod ang students, but usually yes, it is a common nga pagsulod sang students sa pagwa nila magamugin na ang classroom, no? So as a teacher, you must remind students, no, nga okay, so before you leave, arrange your chair. So it's a simple and a basic instruction for a teacher, no? So may ara siguro, I think kung may ara gid man sa teachers nga amo na nga wala nila ginapahimo sa mga students, no? Or sila mismo nga mga teachers, wala sila mismo sang disiplina sa sulod sang classroom. Wala sila, kumbaga sila, nang lazy sila, tamad sila. Wala nila gina-arrange ang dapat, no, nga ara sa classroom. So one of the importance nga ara sa classroom is ang mga visual aids naton, or ang aton nga mga reminders, no? So for example, in ang English teacher ka, so you should put the basic mga basic nga lesson sa English, or like for example sa computer ka man, computer lab ka, as ako ICT ako. So I used to put instructions, basic instructions sa billboard or dira sa amon nga board nga, okay, so this is the parts of a computer, this is the parts of this is the basic programming, this is the products of the Microsoft Word, no? So dapat you should maintain, no? So pag mismanagement mong imong classroom, so magiging incompetent ka. So lastly is the attitudinal deficiencies. I'm sorry. Kumbaga, like for example, attitude problem. So that is one of the I'm sorry for my word, toxic, no? Somehow there are teachers that has a toxicity sa iban man nga teachers nga ang pagiging competent nila is not about nga it's not about credentials, kundi about issues, no? So somehow may mga amugin man siguro, sinabi sandiin man naton ibutang, no? And somehow may attitude problem nga. For example, i-relate naton sa students nga wala mo gina-address ang concerns ng students, no? So that is one of the attitudinal deficiencies of a teacher nga incompetent. Okay, next. Insubordination. So insubordination is generally viewed as the willful failure or inability to obey a reasonable and valid administrative directive. So in most cases, this is a discernible pattern in the teacher's behavior which reveals that the teacher has been insubordinate. So as you can see at the picture, I don't care that the Vice President said it. I'm telling you, it's insubordinate. Okay, so kumbaga as what I have said nga there are people or a person that kumbaga kung diri sa aton tawgon bala ng tig-aulong no or what they what are kung anong ilang belief amo na yang ilapatihan no, so they don't care about the high kung anong ara sa mga sababaw or anong mga announcement, anong mga concerns sang DepEd or CHED or anong ilang mga bago nga mga gin-implement, so may ara gid man siguro tawo nga amo na or teacher. So however, there are other instances in which one serious violation may form the basis of charge in insubordination. No? So nag-violate na ikaw as a teacher because you don't actually follow ang mga implement sang aton nga education. Immorality. Immorality is cited in relevant statutes as grounds for dismissal and involves conduct that violates the ethics of particular community. So some states' law refers immorality as unfitness to teach or behavior which sets a poor example for students and violates moral integrity. So when we say immorality, so kumbaga hindi ikaw yung fit for teachings because you are immoral. No? Kumbaga hindi ikaw honest, ano kaya inang kumbaga inang wrongdoing ang ginaobra mo. Tapos kung case in other words no mahambal naton kung sa corruption, I think wala lang akong kabalo kung if this right or wrong, no, just correct me if I am wrong. Like for example, ang students nimo imo nga pabaklon sang imo kinanglan, no? Kay tungod nga example abi lagbong sa saya grade, okay. Lagbong ka sa akong subject, bakli ko cellphone, bakli ko kay wala payout sumong. Pero actually it's not the proper doing. No, it's not a proper doing. So kumbaga you are making a crime or you are making a corruption nga ginakwartahan ang students, no. So that's immorality. Next is neglect of duty, no. So diri kita sa neglect. So neglect of duty occurs when a teacher fails to execute assigned duties, no. So neglect may be intentional or unintentional based on effective performance, no. Some other people or some other employees actually go to sleep kung ara sila sa ilang duty hours, no. So I think ako nagatulog ko pero udto, I think 5-10 minutes, pero it's my break, naka-time out na ko, no. Naka-time out na ko, wala pa kuya naka-time in. So after eating, so okay lang magtulog ka for just a while in 5 or 10 minutes, pero hindi man niya during may klase ka magkinatulog ka, no, as a teacher. So manago ka sa likod or amo na or sa desk nga at least makapaway-huway ka lang or mapungko ka lang, no. Pero nang siling balaya nga matulog ka gid during klase mo, for example imo nga schedule supong grade 8 or grade 9 English or Filipino, tapos magkinatulog ka, so it refers to neglect of duty, no. So kumbaga sala na kay nagtulog kaya mismo sa oras ang duty mo, no. Siguro di man siguro mahimo sa teachers niya. Okay, next, teacher protection against assault, no. So diri kita I know that some of us really relate sa sininga topic sa teachers protection against assault, no. Kay sang una mo na ganing ginahambal ta dati ang mga teachers na ginadisiplina ng kabataan, subong sakiton mong bata, ikaw pa ang sala. Disiplinahon mong bata, ikaw pa sala. Actually hindi man pagsakiton, kundi disiplinahon mong bata, ikaw pa sala, no. So bisan hambalan mo lang na siya sang gamay, they are very sensitive when it comes when kung sawayon mo sila, disiplinahon mo sila. They are very sensitive. So kita pa nga mga teachers ang kaluluoy. Muna gani may picture, kung makita to, may picture sa Facebook na nga before, as what I've said earlier, no, nga before ang teachers amo pang nagadisiplina sa mga bata, sa mga estudyante, no. So subong niya kung disiplinahon mong bata, i-report ka pa, no, yaw-yawan ka pa sa ginikanan, akigan ka pa nga man ging ano mong bata, o nga man imo ginambalan mo ni, wala kaya rights nga maguna sa akong bata, no. So amo na subong, no. So that's the generation of today's nowadays, no. So bisan masakit to sa imo as a teacher, no, well, we have the human rights and so on and so forth, kung ano man ang mga ano naton subong sa aton nga law nga bawal gid kita mag-akig sa bata or hambalan ang bata, no. So tandaan ko pa gani sa una sang grade school ko, amo pa ko na sang teacher ko, tapos ginahabyan pa ko eraser kag chalk. Subong haboy ka chalk, sigurado pagkaga ara gid ginikanan. Okay, so let's move on. Warning, the related content may be disturbing to some individuals. Okay. I will show a short clip or a video about assaulting teachers. No.
6:32 right now, and caught in the act, a disturbing video showing a student pummeling a teacher right in the middle of the classroom.
Take a look at this. This is so hard to watch. This happened at Frederick Douglass High School, and our Rebecca Schramm is at that school this morning. And Rebecca, man, that teacher just trying to break up a fight, and this is what happens.
Yeah, exactly, Gabriel and Karen. Good morning to you. Believe it or not, that teacher only had minor injuries. But I tell you, what happened here at Douglass High School has been shared over and over again on social media. In the video, you can see the teacher finds himself curled up in a ball, trying to block the punches from the student who just keeps delivering blow after blow. Finally, some staff members rush in, pull the boy off the teacher, and throw him to the ground. This was a 9th grade student who had just been in a fight with another student in the teacher's classroom Monday. The teacher tried to break up the fight, and that's when one of the students turned on him. People in the community seeing this video say they hope the student gets the maximum punishment.
They say this is the easiest thing. You do the crime, you do the time. That was the way these kids acting nowadays. I think all situations like that is crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's not warranted.
The student faces a criminal charge of aggravated assault against that teacher. A spokesperson for Atlanta Public Schools says he will also face discipline through the Student Code of Conduct.
Okay, no. So as you can see at the video, no, so it's very sensitive video, but somehow for us a teacher, kumbaga hindi na sang insakto ang natatabo. So because of this generation students, ang mga estudyante naton wala na halos respeto sa aton as a teachers, no. So that is one of hurting para man sa mga teachers sa aton man nga, especially kung matabo sa aton yung kita tapungulon kita actually subong gani, no, bisan teacher ka na kung may makita sila sa yes, this is very true, no. So this is one of my experience during my nag-practice teach ako, no. So last 2 years ago, one of my co-intern naging bully siya sa Facebook sang students niya. It's because of her deliberation, mag-deliver siya sang klase nga wala siya ginapamatian ng students, no? So kumbaga cyberbullying, bisan wala man tuod drop sang name ang students, pero syempre kita sang teacher ang post do sang intern ang post, syempre ka-hurting kag do ginakumos ang imo nga tagipusons because we are just interns at that time that we are still learning the field of teaching. So kumbaga gani, no, so kinanglan kinanglan maging strong pagid bisan ano pang challenges, no. Okay, so let's go back. So what kinds of incident involving students, parents, and other adults are teaching concerned about? So as you can see the picture, no? So before, did you talk politely to your teacher? Now, sa subong nga nga tinion. Did your teacher talk politely to you? So baliskad na. In reality, baliskad na, no? So this heavy burden of teacher is aggravated by the lack of institutional support in the form of standards in classroom management. Training on these standards and permissible and effective methods of instilling discipline, guidance, counselors to act as support personnel and legal assistant and representation. Okay, so as what I have said, no, amugid ni siya, no. Amugid ni ang kumbaga ang ego subong sa aton, no. So parent coming into classroom and yelling at teachers, no. So sakit. So yeah, it's very harsh, or let's say what you call this one. Kumbaga, I think that the reality as of now is mas grabe ang pag-evolve sang batasan sang tao, no. So kumbaga namulat ba na ang tao, no? So kumbaga duga salig na lang sila sa technology nga somehow gani ko no, hindi na kinanglan sa teachers kay may ara naman sang computer, may ara naman sang mga instructional sa YouTube. So lain gyapon ang tradition na ginatawag, no? Lain gyapon ang kumbaga ang ginatudlo mo gid in person, no? So as of now, abi, it's because of the pandemic. So we don't know kung anong matabo kung magbalik na sa face to face, no? So it's either another adjustment for the teachers or the students. It's because nowadays students are very dependent sa internet. Bisan although kita to tell it frankly, kisa doon di tagani kaya wa internet, it's because the internet is the source of the globe. It's the source of everyone, no? So Facebook, tanan Google, so we may able to have everything sa mga sources na kinanglan ta sa internet. Okay, so teacher receiving angry or inappropriate comments in public. So this is one of the worst, no? Nga ginalibak kita sa gwa. O si ma'am si sir amuna, no? So kalain, no? So inappropriate comments or behavior in the classroom, threats received at home or at school, no? So I also experienced that one sa intern ko, no? So since that a student said to his classmates nga, uy, bumbahon na mo si sir magwa sa bumbahon muna. So they are threatening, no? It's because of the issue happened nga nagkinagamo gintambagan ko, no? So ginpabulag ko ang nag-away. So since ka akong pinakadako, ako ang tambok, ako ang gintawag sang teachers nga sir si amo ni, no? So immediately nagrespond ako didto, pero at the end of the day do ako pa ang malain kay pabulag ko ang duwa. So since the other party sila nag-init sa akon, no? So kumbaga nasolban ang issue later on sa ginpatawag na ang parents, since nga nag-report man ang school nga amo ning ang situation amo na. So naging okay naman, no? So damage to property at home or at school, pushing or other unwelcome physical contact, or repeated phone calls, no? So repeated phone calls, yes. Actually is atod lang kung if makita lang gid siguro man sang parents or students ang aton trabaho as a teacher, kung sa aton man sila lugar, they will understand as teachers. Kung doon lang we are lack of financial, amo gid na ang problema. Not unless nga ginatigaan gid kita sang financial nga kinanglano naton para sa students. So tapos kita ginaamo pa sina, no? So but somehow wala kita may mahimo, no? So kita ang makasalakon, kita mareklamo, no? Okay, next. Department of Education makes commitment to a positive learning environment. So some statements include every person is valued and all individual staffs, pupils, and parents are treated with respect and treat others with respect. Adults and pupils in the public school system have a right to work and learn in a safe, orderly, productive, respectful, and harassment-free environment. And public school personnel, most especially teachers, are the very forefront of delivery of educations to millions of students day in and day out. No, so diri pa lang. So tani ma-appreciate pang kita sang public yung mga teachers, no. With large class sizes, multiple shift each day, and the heavier tasks they have to assume under K to 12. Any one of them can attest that instilling discipline in their classroom has become increasingly difficult. Yes, indeed, tama. Because of the generation gani. Pila ko na balik-balik, no? Muna gani nga, bali na education, ang education, gaumpisa sa balay, hindi sa eskwelahan. So, kung ano ang pag-tolerate sang parents sa bata, so they feel when they are in school, kumbaga ma-tolerate man sila sa teachers kung ano sila. But somehow, it's impossible because it has a different personalities, no? So, if you have plenty of students, kag may dungol gidya, may ulugtasan gidya nga mga estudyante nga hindi mo gidya ma-disiplina, no? So somehow gisa may ara man gisa sang for example, may ara man sang I am not taking this as a personal, no? It's just a situation, it's just a scenario nga may mga teachers manggid nga kung mga bag-o bala nga teachers nga ginatolerate nila ang students. So nang nagiging dugi na baby bala nilang students. So the students nadudulaan sa sang respeto. Kumbaga to feel nila nga do at home lang sila with the teachers, do barkada lang, since nga ang respect is lain, no? So ikaw teacher ka, sila students, no? So the gap between the lines is different, no? So somehow I think lang, no, siguro idea ko lang man nga dapat i-maintain ang gap between students and teachers, no? Okay. Next, freedom of expression and academic, no? So the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution protects the teachers at public school from this discrimination based on race, sex, and national origin. Now, so from this freedom of expression and academic, we are talking about religion and nationality and sex, no? So one of the issues as of now, or one of the yes, the issues is the LGBT that there will, kumbaga gusto nila dugangan ang sex nga there will be a gay and a tomboy amo na. But well, kumbaga though it's in a I am not against those LGBT, but I think though it's enough that it is a male and a female. And also from discrimination of religions naman, we're talking about religions, no? Somehow nagaabot ang discrimination pag-abot nga when you go to a Muslim country and when you go to school and if you are a Catholic, somehow they will discriminate you because you're a Catholic. Or let's say you're in a Christian school and then you're not a Catholic or a Christian, so hindi ka pwede dito mag-school. It's because nga nga Muslim ka or Buddhism ka, no? So siguro amo na ang idea ko da. Okay, so This law provides that is an unlawful employment practice for any employer to discriminate against individual based on the race, color, religion, sex, or national origin of the individual. No, so as what I've said, no, nga diri sa aton nga Civil Rights Act of 1964, which amended in 1972 to include education institution. No, the law provides that it is an unlawful employment practice for the employer to discriminate against individual. So kumbaga kung sa public school ka man, there is wala man problema, either Muslim ka man or ano ka man dira, bakla ka man, or you're a gay, or you're a himan, or ano da, or ano man ang color mo, no? So it's a public school kung magalakot. But when it comes to the private schools nga may Catholic schools, Muslim schools, I think dira siguro nagaabot nga wala man. I think if it is a discrimination, it's syempre because hindi ka makasulod mismo sa school nga na. It's because you're a Muslim, because that is a Catholic school, no? Okay, academic freedom, no? So teachers in public schools have limited freedoms in a classroom to teach without undue restriction on the content or subjects for discussion. So these freedoms are based on a right to freedom of expression under the First Amendment Bill of Rights. However, the concept of academic freedom is quite limited. The content taught by the teacher must be relevant and consistent with the teacher's responsibilities, and teachers cannot promote a personal or political agenda in the classroom. Factors such as age, experience, and grade level of students affect the latitude in which court will recognize the academic freedom of a teacher. So, as a teacher, you cannot promote political and other agenda, no? So, for example, kung magbalik gid man abi si Chiyoto, kag magbalik ang face-to-face, tapos hambalon mo yung mga estudyante, diri ka mo sakon kay apply ko. Double the money kita kay Chiyoto, no? So, it is not possible nga maano ikaw, ma-promote ikaw sang imo nga political or personal, no, nga interest sa mga students. Okay. A leading case in a First Amendment jurisprudence regarding protected forms of expression in Pickering Board of Education. This case involved a teacher whose job was terminated when he wrote the local newspaper editorial critical the teachers of employer. So the Supreme Court held the school had unconstitutionally restricted the First Amendment rights of the teachers speak issues of the public importance. Based on the Pickering and similar cases, teachers generally enjoy rights to freedom of expression. Though there are some restrictions, teacher may not materially disrupt the educational interests of the school district, nor may teachers undermine authority or adversely affect working relationship at the school. Okay, so here we are at a freedom of religion. So the First Amendment in the Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 provide protection against religious discrimination by the school district against teacher. Teacher may exercise their religious rights through though there are certain restrictions to such rights. The existence of restrictions is particularly relevant to the public schools, since the public schools are restricted from teaching religion through the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. Thus, for example, a teacher is free to be a practical Christian, yet the teacher cannot preach Christianity in the classroom. Somehow, we don't practice we really do not have a religion subject in public schools, no? So since that we are a public, so lakot ang students. But in a private school, yes, for a Catholic school, they are practicing and they have a subject of religion. Privacy rights, no? So teacher enjoy limited rights to personal privacy. So though courts will often support disciplinary action taken by a school district when a teacher's private life affects the integrity of the school district or the effectiveness by which a teacher can teach. Those example, as a teacher may be terminated from his or her position for such acts, adultery or other sexual conduct outside marriage, and courts will be hesitant to overrule the decision of the school board. So like for example, no, so you're the teacher and then nadakpan ikaw nga may ara ikaw nagcommit ka sa adultery tapos nadalahi kang school, no? So like for example, mo asawa ka na tapos ginasawa mo pagid ang imuupod nga teacher, no? So kumbaga which is hindi pwede, no? So kumbaga ma-terminate ka gid sa school if amo na imong obrahon, no? Okay, next, teacher as a role model. So superhuman being gani kita ko, no? As a teacher, no? It's because we are very talented and we are the chosen ones na maging teacher, no? So kumbaga we work hard for this role, for this profession na maging teacher kita, no? So teaching profession, so among the greatest of all services that can be rendered by the men to Almighty God is the education and training of children, no? So talking about teaching, no, teachers, I think you do feel the same man sa akon niya. When you see your students, you are very happy, no? Makita mo sila nga nag-learn sila sang imo nga subject. What you teach them, na-absorb nila, na-apply nila, no? So magabot sa chimpo na ang mga dugay ng mga teachers nga nakikita na nila ilang mga students before nga ma-successful pa sa ila, no? So kumbaga do ka heartwarming, kumbaga malipay ka gid sa ila, no? So bisan ako as a new teacher, freshman sa teacher, no, 2 years from teaching, kumbaga I am proud of my students that they have learned somehow or something from me, nga from my subject or lessons, no? So kumbaga ikaw mismo nga teacher ka, happy ka, no? Who is a teacher, no? So the teacher is a dynamic force of the school. A school without a teacher is just like a body without the soul, no? So a skeleton without a flesh and blood, a shadow without a substance, no? The teacher is very important, no? So tani may bonus, no? joke. Okay, the teacher is the yardstick that measures the achievement and aspiration of the nation. The people of the country are in large replica of their teacher, no? So meaning to say, we are the role model. If anong makita sa aton sa students, kung ikaw nga teacher ka, labutaw ka, kutaw ka, hindi ka man pagrespetohan sa teacher. But if you are sharing your knowledge, you're sharing your skills, you're teaching them the right method, the right lessons, they will inspire you. Ma-inspire sila sa imo. Bo si teacher amon nino. So you will also share your short of experience nga amon ni nga okay, so na-experience ko kay nagsala ako before sini sa amon ni nga pag-ubra ko sang akon nga thesis. So I did the right one nga may guide. Kumbaga one of your experiences amon na. Okay. Essential qualities of a teacher. So diri kita may istorya sa mga teachers, no? So teacher is a role model. So people are people who set good examples by the words they speak and by the actions they take. Role models can be the people you know, no? So kumbaga kung ano ka magiging kumbaga kung ano imo nga the way ka mag-speak sa students, no? If kung gina-inspire mo sila, gina-encourage mo sila, ang ila nga interest mas nagapangibabaw sa imo nga subject, no? So personally or people you have learned about in the news at school or on the television, students tends to copy the behavior and mannerism of the teachers. So the teacher interpersonality is a reflection of the mind of the students, no? So somehow as a ICT teacher, I am also a MAPE teacher, no? So duha ka course akong ginatudlo last year sa high school. Gatudlo ako MAPE, gatudlo pagid ako computer, no? So duha ka major. Somehow sa music nagbuo ako sang isa ka acoustic band group sa high school. And sa una, yes, they are very shy, because I know that they have the potential. They are very interested when it comes to music. So what I did, I gathered them who are those who are interested on, I am gathering a band. I am making a band nga ma-play kita sang song sa muni. We're we're gonna play old songs now, so they are very interested. So since that those students na-encourage sila kumbaga sa music, kumbaga hindi lang from the first batch naging successful, nakatukar sila 3 to 4 gigs sa school, no? So Christmas party, foundation, and so on and so forth. And then the second batch tani, no? So we are planning sa school nga magbakal na kami sang gamit, isponsoran gani kami sang SSC nga makabakal man kami sang amon nga gamit, no? Na nautod just because of the pandemic, no? Sa pandemic, excuse me. So kanugon gid kay tani wala na lang nag-pandemic para dire-diretso tanan nga aton nga nga kumbaga nga face to face class and mga plano naton sa aton nga mga students, no. Okay, teacher's character, no. So a flower in bloom is loved by all, and this lies its glory. Similarly, man may be viewed as having achieved everything in life when he becomes perfect in character, no. So this is a very good message. Teacher's personality, no. So every teacher must have a good personality, radiant, pleasing, and impressive personal appearance, refinement, no. So kumbaga this one of the things I learned for being a musician, no, and now a teacher, that if you're on the stage, kung ara kita nagatudlo, kung ara kita sa entablado, we must encourage students, no. We must encourage students nga maging interesado pagid sila sa aton subject, nga maging interesado sila sa ilaman nga pag-study, sa ilang pagtuon, nga maging busy sila sa ilang pag-learn sang subject. Pleasant manners industry, drive, initiative, open mindedness. No, kumbaga when may time man sa klase nga example nakatapos na naman among topic, no, so may ara time nga share kami sang, kasi ginapa-share ko sila sang ilang mga experiences about activities nila sa school before, no. So it's much better nga ma-develop pagid ang ilang pagiging open sa public, mag-share, ano. So para pag-abot nila sa in their next level, kumbaga madula na ang pulba, madula na ang huya-huya, no. So kumbaga public speaking ma-develop nila. Personal traits, no. So self-confidence and self-respect, excellent appearance, healthy and energetic, what you call this one, just correct me if I'm wrong, enthusiasm, good intellect, industriousness, high character, sense of humor, punctuality, optimistic, democratic, fair and just, sympathy and empathy, and a good learner. Teacher's physical health, no. So number 1 gid, no, kinanglan ta gid alagaan naton self as a teacher, because ang aton diri ang balaya isang tutunlan naton, no. Once nga mapaos kita, huway na, no, goodbye na gid ya. Wala dayon, the rest of the day paus ka na. Kumbaga mo ning alagaan ta, no, ang aton tingog, ang aton nga lawas, no. So we must stay healthy. A teacher should possess sound body along with a sound mind. she or he should have a sound physical health, physical energy, vitality, and should be free from physical defects. This will make him alert, cheerful, happy, dynamic, uh, and can maintain emotional stability. No? So, for example, siguro if what I do if somehow masakit akong ulo, kumbaga gina-prepare ko lang gid ang self ko. I gainom ko bulong para at least pag-ara ng student sabak na din sa gira, no? Nga hindi ka man matumba or maalang-alang, no? So behind your, yeah, I know that na babatyagan nyo man na, no? Na feel nyo man na siguro nga nga ano nga behind our smiles, no? So we are tired also sa hindi lang sa klase, no? Plus sa pag-ugtas or sa mga paperworks pag isang teacher, no? So that's what I have said, that a teacher is not a joke. Kumbaga hindi isang tiyaw-tiyaw nga obra nga hindi para sa office nga puko ka lang, nga office ka lang, or sa government ka lang, ga encode ka lang, pero kita very productive ang everyday naton when it comes to class. It's because everyday if loaded ang imo nga klase, imo nga subject, kumbaga tanan imo gid nga nga attenderan, no? Bisan kapoy ka na, bisan lutoy-lutoy ka na, pero kinapilit mo gyapon imo nga self nga maging okay ka, maging productive ka, maging creative ka, maging ma-encourage mo gyapon ang students despite of everyday nga bisan kapoy ka na. Okay, next. Teacher social adjustment. So respect for elders, responsibility, sense of competitions, courage, intelligence, obedience, patriotism, cleanliness, good manners, truthfulness, hopefulness. It is very correctly said that the influence of the teacher is immense, and no one knows when the influence becomes visible where it stops. The influence of the teacher is very deep, far-reaching, and of course permanent. And a teacher needs to be trustworthy, talented trainer, energetic, efficient, affectionate, ardent, empathetic, eager to learn, reliable, radiant, cheerful, caring, committed, honest, humble, humorous. Siguro ang pinaka-the best is maging humble. Humble ka, empathetic pagid, no? Nga hindi kita maging pathetic pagabot sa klase when it comes nga to ano sa boiling point mo, pero ang patient dapat labaon pagid, no? Ano pagid unaton pagid siya, nga unaton ang patient, no? Bisan ano na, pero kung sobra na, yes, go report kaysa akigan mo. Okay, so example, ingit-ingit ka na, just take a deep breath, amo lang ginanaubra ko, then balik naman ko na din sulod. Okay, class, amo na, so on and so forth, no? So next is must be energetic when it comes to teaching. Kay kung makita nila nga do kaluya sa imo, sila mismo do maluya man, no? Okay, the last topic is reporting the child abuse, no? So DepEd response. The DepEd launched its child protection policy on May 3, 2012 through the DepEd Order Number 40, 2012 to promote a zero tolerance policy for any act of child abuse, exploitation, violence, discrimination, bullying, and other related offense. DepEd conducted a nationwide information dissemination campaign and is currently conducting a series of training of trainers, or TOT. So the child refers to below 18, those so 18 pwede na ma-preso, no? So pag 18 pa naog, I think DSWD pa ang mahawid sina sa ila. Next is the children in school refers to a bona fide pupils, students or learners who are enrolled in the basic education system, whether regular, irregular, transfer, or repeater, including those who have been temporarily out of school, who are in the school or learning centers, premises, or participating school sanction activities. Okay, so child abuse refers to the maltreatment of a child, whether habitual or not, which includes any the following: psychological or physical abuse, neglect, cruelty, sexually abuse, emotion, maltreatment. I don't think if kung sa sini nga topic, no, there are cases I heard in the news that I think kung sa Luzon or diri sa aton wala man diri may naga cases nga or issues nga gigin rape nga sang teacher ang ano or gin iya gin sakit gid nga grabe or gin abuse gid no. But somehow grabe gid ka sensitive ang mga bata subong no. Kaya bisan singanan mo lang dibdib na nila. Though so it may trigger sa suicidal ang bata. Isa gani grade lang, isa lang kakulang nga grade ang bata naga ano na day kabatsyag na day no. So, unreasonable deprivation of the child's basic needs for survival, such as food and shelter. Failure to immediately give medical treatment to injured child, resulting serious impairment of his or her growth, development, or in child's permanent incapacity or death. So, discrimination against children refers to an act, distinction, restrictions, preference, which is based on or any grantor's age. Okay, so lastly, the child exploitation. No? Okay, so may ara pagalit next no. So refers to the use of children for someone else's advantages or gratification or profit, often resulting in unjust, cruel and harmful treatment of the child. So these activities disrupt the child's normal physical or mental health, education, moral or social emotional development. It covers situation of manipulation, misuse or abuse, victimized, oppression, or ill treatment. Sexual violence refers to acts that are sexual in nature, include but not limited to rape, sexual harassment, no, forcing the child to watch obscene publication, pilito mong bata maglantaw sang porn, no. So that is also a child abuse. And causing, attempting to cause a child to engage in any sexual activity by force. Okay, so dali kita sa bullying, no. So this is one of the way to get nga topic, no? So bullying, most cases of now of the suicide last school years, not only in the Philippines but also in the other countries, that one of the major problem of the schools is bullying, no? So I think yes, I am also a victim of bullying when I was in my college days and high school. But somehow siguro the impact sa child or sa bata is they think that they don't belong because of this bully, no. Ginasunlog siya kung ano ang physical niya, nagaka-apekto sa iya mental health. So some of the students develop mental health or illness nga they think that the world they don't exist in this reality. It's because of the bullying. So one of the reason why there are cases of suicides of this bullying. Next is the cyberbullying, no? So I think this is the last, no? Okay, so cyberbullying. Nowadays, before the bullying and now is the cyberbullying. When issues pop up or nagagwa na, ginasuyaan, ginasiraan, one of the most toxic situation is cyberbullying. So, pag i-post lang ng picture mo, butangan ka da, malaw ay ini siya, hindi ka mo dre mag-amo na, or i-edit lang nila ang imo itsura nga naka-naked ka. Yes, this is very possible. No? So, we're talking about cyberbullying. And also, ang subong gidya nga time nga gapabati-bati. Comments, dabok, comments, dabok. One of the worst is pag nakita sang bata nga ginabully siya sang mga classmates niya will actually affect its health, mental health, no? So ang impact or ang resulta or ang outcome sang bata is matrauma. It's because of that. So panumdumon niya nga do hindi kuya nabilong diri do nga man amo ni, no? So kumbaga ang anxiety naga-develop, ang depression naga-develop. So this is one nga hindi naton makontrol ang social media. It's because of it's kumbaga naging open ang tanan-tanan sa social media. Nag-abot ang social media, kumbaga ari mga ko teachers ko, i-share ko lang sa inyo na ano nyo, na notice nyo sa nag-abot ang social media, mas naging open ang tanan-tanan. Kumbaga ara tanan sa internet pornographic, tanan nga hindi dapat makita sa bata ara. Bisan po ya gani 5 years old na may nakikita sa Facebook nga mga nagati. One of the isa pa gid ning TikTok, no. I am not against sa TikTok, but I don't dance in TikTok, no. But for me it's not do hindi man siya sang influence nga para sa students, no. For me lang, is my own opinion nga line before to compare subong people are studying sa library, people are people are busy in some stuff of being creative, but somehow today if sa negative ano lang kita sa negative side sang social media is grabe ang influence sa bata. So the questions are, what are the learnings of TikTok? What are the learnings of Mobile Legends? What are the learnings? No, kung i-question lang siya. But somehow wala makuga kontra, no. So that's already in the reality. So amo na kita sinisubong, no. So as a teacher, parehas kita teachers tanan, so we must accept the reality nowadays. So we cannot go back if amo ni ang before nga mas manami kung tod lang mas nami ang sanguna to compare subong. It's because nga grabe ang pag-evolve sa technology. Okay, so anyways, thank you for listening sa malaba kong report, and I hope you are safe kung din man kamo subong, no. Syempre ano lang kita subong online class, and I pray for you guys, I pray for you my co-teachers. Always take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. Thank you Ma'am Simon.